Welcome to Horror News Radio for March 20th, 2023. Join us for Horror News of the Week and the top 13 slasher films influenced by the Scream franchise. All this and more coming up next. Hello, once again. I'm your host, Doc Rotten, and this is H&R, the official Gruesome Magazine Horror News Podcast. Back with me again this week are the scariest, goriest, bloodiest hosts on the net. And by that, I mean Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead Girl. How you doing?
I'm doing fabulous, Doc. How are you doing?
Yep. We are missing Dave tonight. He is under the weather. We hope he feels better, but we still have horror news. And we have a really fun countdown. The last episode we did the slashers that influenced Scream because the Scream the sixth one just came out and did really well. But the Scream franchise is, we were talking about earlier, it's kind of a pivotal point in the slasher genre.
It's a revitalization. Yeah, like you said. Yeah. Totally.
So we have all those that came before, and now we're going to talk about those that came after. And only picking 13 was harder than I thought it would be. Yeah. it was amazing.
There's
amount
a lot
of slashers.
now.
Oh, I thought all the slashers came out in the 80s, but no, we have a tremendous amount. But I'm excited. We have, like I said, we have horror news and we have that. So we hope you enjoy our show tonight. If you do, please hit the like and the subscribe button, share with a friend. It's easy and free to do. And every click will help us find more people like you.
Yep. Like you.
And of course, we want to hear your comments down below. But let's get into our horror news. You're a fan of Jordan Peele, right, Crystal?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Who? Yeah. Okay, look, I guess some people might not like all of his movies, but I think any horror movie lover better like some because it's good.
It is good.
It's good.
It's
yeah.
good.
And so guess what? So now, but I'm bummed. I just realized you did the handoff and I was like, not going to take it. And then I got it. Yay, Crystal. Okay. So Jordan Peele won't have one, but two movies that are going to be coming out in 2024 next year. An untitled horror thriller in September. They say the 27th, but I mean, God, how do you know exactly? That's crazy. He's so far out. From his Monkeypaw Productions, and another one that will be coming out Christmas Day.
Day.
Which is super interesting because I'm wondering how that's going to be. While the Monkeypaw Production Company is putting out the first movie, the September release, he will be directing the Christmas Day release.
Yes.
Yay! There's no real details as far as, what the movies are going to be about or anything like that. But we know that there's going to be two good horror movies coming out next year. So, I'm excited. I didn't watch Nope, Doc, until just recently.
Yes.
And I'm so disappointed that I took that long to watch it. Like it was so much better than I thought. I was like, oh, this is wonderful. I guess I just thought it was going to be some sort of like UFO. I was like, oh. Okay.
No, it was much more than that.
It was so much better than that. Yeah. So I'm excited. I like his concepts. They're always original. I think he's been smart. Unlike M. Night Shyamalan, and not pigeonholing himself into any of these sort of surprise things. Because I think that can make people expect that every time. Yep. It's hard to deliver. I
mean, he does have a certain tone and message that that is in his film. So he does have something along those lines, but not so constricting as M. Night.
Because
but M. Night's been doing
it's like
fairly good for himself.
Gotten better.
And of course, it's always big news when
Daughter too is going to direct. Yeah, it's exciting.
And it's always good news when Jordan Peele is announcing a new movie. It doesn't necessarily say that one is a horror film, but we suspect it will be.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be.
It's got to be, right? Right. So we will find out.
Doing different stuff.
That would be weird, right?
That would be incredible. Like,
but of course, as soon as we find out more, we will share it with you. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So up next is fun. Now you liked It Follows, right? The movie It Follows.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the director is David Robert Mitchell. And what's really exciting is that he is teaming up to do a new film, which we don't know much about. It's a mysterious new film in the article that it
mysterious.
What's fun about it is that Anne Hathaway has signed on to star in it, which is.
I hope it's horror. I really do.
Yes, it is billed as a thrill ride to be shot in which will head into production, and other details are scarce at present. And we just don't know anything about it. Of course, It Follows was his breakout film, and it was one of the scariest films that year, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you did, but I loved it. And of course, Micah Monroe was in that. Maybe she'll be in this too.
Oh.
Now, I've heard, I read somewhere about dinosaurs, but I'm not sure if I
dinosaurs.
I think I dreamed that, but we do need more dinosaur movies. So maybe the thrill ride involves dinosaurs. I don't know. I'm making that up. I have a feeling. It's not an article, but I read
interesting. I'm like, what? See, I just don't know how they're going to incorporate. I mean, it's because it's not going to be a period piece, I would assume. I mean, I suppose it could be. No. I don't know. I would just be hypothesizing. And my hypothesis here is going to be completely off base. I know it. But I would like to see Anne Hathaway in a horror movie. I really like her. And I think she's like got such a sweet face. And God, I'd actually really, if someone could, I know she played a villain in The Witches, but I'd love to work with her comedy. And like bring out more. Yeah, I'd like to bring out, because I think that I could bring out some of that acting and make her really villainous.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh man, if she played the villain, I was thinking her as the protagonist, but if she was the antagonist, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, it's for Warner Brothers. We said that Bad Robot is also involved. J.J. Abrams and his crew. So it looks like. Maybe that's where I'm stealing the dinosaurs from. Maybe I read it from another Bad Robot article and I'm confusing the two. But regardless, I'm excited about this pairing, and I hope it is a scary thrill ride. But any thrill ride with these two involved, I think I'm in the mood for. You?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. It's too bad we didn't have Dave here because he's the rock and roll god here, but we do have another rock and roller going into the movie business. You want to tell us about this?
Well, actually, last year, if you remember, Rue Morgue partnered with Slash and Raven Banner for a film based on Nick Cutter's 2021 novel. What was it? What was it called? Oh, God. The Breach, right? The Breach, I believe. Yeah. So if you enjoyed that partnership, you'll be happy to know that Slash, Guns N' Roses Slash, is partnering, or actually not partnering. I guess that's not a partnership. They're collaborating. They're becoming one. They're forming.
That all sounds the same to me.
Yeah. They're forming a genre film production company with Rue Morgue, wonderful, Raven Banner, and Hangar 18 Media. And obviously genre horror, which is wonderful. And it's going to, it's going to be called Berserker Gang.
Looks
like it's all one word, Berserker Gang, which I kind of like. And it does kind of make sense because it seems kind of crazy. So I think it says it's going to be a genre film production outfit dedicated to edge of your seat horror. So, I mean, that's a lot to live up to. Right? It's a lot to live up to. I it's like, it's so interesting when musicians go into horror. You know, some you either love them or you don't, or you may like some, but not all. But I appreciate that he's joining the ranks of some other really good horror, you know, aficionados. So
kind of like wrestling.
Yeah.
Same thing. Sometimes they're hit and miss as well. When they hit, they're awesome. When they miss, it's like, ooh.
But I think this could be good. I'm really interested to see this. So,
and we'll find out what they have in store for us at Cannes this year.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they say they will announce their oncoming onslaught of horror films.
Ooh.
An onslaught.
Onslaught. I know. That's you and I both were like onslaught. Actually, the logo's pretty cool too. It's like Berserker Gang. And then it's got it almost looks like a guillotine axe there, which is pretty awesome.
Ooh, so, it does. Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, Rue Moore, Graven Banner, and Hangar 18 Media. It's I'm looking forward to it. It's anything to bring a spotlight onto the horror genre, and Slash will do that. So it's fantastic, and I'm excited.
Yeah, what an interesting. I'm interested to see this. Yep. That's all. I'm gonna wait and just see what comes of it. I don't want to say anything one way or another. I don't want to if I say it's going to be good, then I'm going to be scared. So I have hope. There's lots of hope here.
Well, up next in our news, we were talking before the show about the Conjuring films, that we both love the Conjuring films, but all the, each film is, it's in and of itself a hit or miss. Not everything can be The Conjuring or The Conjuring 2, but not everything has to be the first Annabelle either. The Annabelle films got better as they went along. Mm-hmm. One film that I think we debated about was The Nun, which has a great central character and a wonky plot, but the director himself, yes, Corin Hardy is returning to horror alongside of Universal Pictures and Platinum Dunes. And he's going to direct a film called Lure. Now, when I first heard the title, I was thinking, it's going to be something about fishing, and they're going and mermaids. I thought it was going to be something like that, because there was like a Lure mermaid movie, but it's not. It's not. And when I read what it was about, I got even more excited because it happens to be one of my favorite, outside of shark movies, one of my favorite type of horror movies, and that is, the haunted house. Of course, Conjuring goes back to Conjuring. Mm-hmm. Now, the plot of this, while the plot details are being kept under wraps, what we do know is the story is based on the haunting of the real-life King's Tavern, considered to be the most haunted building in all of Mississippi. One of its tenants being the murdered mistress of one of the tavern's original owners.
One of the tenants being the murdered mistress of one of the tavern's original owners. Okay.
I know, that's a tongue twister, isn't it?
Sorry, I just had to get that in my head. Okay, I got you. So, I bet you. So she was. It was the wife, obviously.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally. The wife did it.
I think the wife did it. Now, okay, so in The Nun, did you see talent in here that you're looking forward to for this?
Oh, film? I love Vera's sister. I thought she was great. Yes. Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't dislike The Nun. I just didn't love it. It just felt really flat to me. So. I know that sounds horrible, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't. The problem with The Conjuring is, and this is what happens to everything for me. I try to go into everything with no expectations, because if I have any expectations, I'm always disappointed. Yep. Or if I have really bad expectations, it's always way better than I anticipated. So
lower your expectations on every film.
Yes. So. I mean, when I went into The Nun, I was like, ooh, can't wait. Oh.
Well, I remember having that original reaction too when I came out of the theater. I was kind of underwhelmed But later I watched it again on when it came to streaming, and I found it far more enjoyable watching it the second time. Yeah, I really let some of those high expectations that we're talking about, those what I thought it would be, let those go and enjoyed it for what it is. Now it's still not a perfect film, but it does have a lot of great cinematography and a lot of cool shots and some fun scares with the nun, of course. Now we're going to get a Nun 2. Nun 2 is on the way. If all things are right.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get it this year if it stays on schedule.
God, it feels like they've been talking about that for a long time though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, with 2 years of COVID, everything feels like it's been talked about for a long time anymore.
We're all catching up. Still playing catch up. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Lure is getting made for Universal and Platinum Doom. So Michael Bay is behind it. That's interesting, right? Michael Bay and Brad Fuller.
Well,
so we'll see what happens.
Michael Bay makes good movies. I mean, they at least they're entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good partnership. Yeah.
Of course, we'll bring more news as we hear it. We'll get more casting. We'll get when it's going to start shooting, when it's going to come out. So exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Well, that's our news for this Monday. Please let us know what you think of it down below in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
All right. Now, here's our countdown. Now, like I said, last episode we did the films that came before Scream, the ones that influenced Scream. Now we're doing the films that Scream influenced. Now, no matter what slasher film came out afterward, it was as influenced by Scream as it would be from anything else. Some more so than others. But is it fair to say that Scream, I think we talked about this already, revitalized, reimagined, and reinvigorated the slasher genre. And of course, we still got Freddy's and Jason's and plenty of Michael Myers and some. We even got Leatherfaces, and we got a new Hellraiser. We got all the regulars are back, even Chucky. Two different Chuckies. But we're talking about the new ones that came after. So we won't be talking about the sequels or the characters that we've already talked about. These are going to be ones that showed up after. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
All right. These are chronological. They're not in any order other than that. So I don't know why I picked the Spanish one, but we'll go with it. But I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think I called him the Fisher Man, but other people call him the Hook Man, right? But that's
obvious. That's for sure. You got these group of kids. Yeah.
Even got the same writer. So
yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize. I don't know that enough about. Yeah, but yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean,
definitely, and it spawned plenty of sequels, and I think we're getting a remake.
Oh,
again,
yeah.
Probably. I know we had a television remake, but I think we're getting a film remake. All right. There's a whole lot, but we're gonna jump ahead to 2000 because this is one of probably, I think, a lot of people's
one of my
favorites.
Favorite movies
is of course Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
From American Psycho.
And I think it's so good because he was such a cheeky killer, I mean, granted, I could see people being like, what? I don't get it. But he was so funny and comical and cheeky, and it was so good and gory.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe that Christian Bale did this for real. And it also has who else is all in it? There's a lot of
it's got a lot of people. Samantha Mathis.
Yeah, Chloe Sevigny,
and Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. Yeah, I forgot. Willem Dafoe.
Josh Lucas. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's a crazy cast, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the dancing scene and talking about Huey Lewis. But yeah. All right, we could do a whole show on that, and then someday we will. All right, next year, 2001. This might be now the most controversial, but you got to admit the character itself, the creeper from Jeepers Creepers, is certainly a good creation. Now,
God,
all
it
the stuff about the
sucks.
director
Okay.
behind it.
So yes, it's so poopy because let me tell you, before all that came out, this was one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yes.
Like I love him and the concept, and I was like, oh my god, so well, it just breaks my little heart. But that's fine. No, whatever.
But the character of the Creeper definitely
yes
is one of those guys we
Iconic.
have to mention. Up next, 2004. Speaking of the Conjuring we were talking about earlier, we're going to go all the way back to Saw.
Of course.
With Jigsaw and John Kramer. Probably of the ones we're getting ready to talk about at this point, the largest one, with the biggest fan base. Now, I think there's potential for others to eclipse that, but it may take some doing. But this was a tremendous film, and it not only did it go in the slasher, but it also helped bring forward another form of horror.
Which one are you?
Which I don't. Where all the gory kills and everything, and what am I wanting to say? It's totally slipped my mind.
Trying to help you.
I know.
I want to help you.
I had it in my brain, and I'm too old for this shit. But anyway.
No, I mean, honestly, like.
But Hostel will be another one, and some others.
It's not
torture porn. Torture porn. This one.
Oh, okay.
This one is torture porn. Yeah, that's the term I was trying to look for.
But I hate that for Saw because most of these people deserve it.
I would hope all of them do.
I think that's what makes Saw more likable.
Yep.
A little bit,
But of course, this is Saw and or John Kramer and Jigsaw itself is wonderful, and then it created all these traps, and everybody loves seeing the traps. Here's something interesting. I wear my horror shirts when I go out, and I was at Walmart just yesterday getting some groceries, and one of the ladies behind the counter stopped me behind the donut counter. I'm not going to say what I was buying.
They have a donut counter?
Well, they have cakes and donuts and everything. The bakery counter.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I gave away too much, but anyway, she saw my shirt and she asked me what I like, and it's like Jaws, and then she said Saw, and I was so surprised this woman said that she loved the Saw movies, but that just shows you.
But see, I'm telling you, I think the reason why people like the Saw movies is because I think they like revenge horror movies. And it kind of is, all of these people did something wrong, or they didn't value their lives, or, I mean, there's a lot of interesting little things there. Now, there were some innocent kills along the way, don't get me wrong, but overall.
And of course, it's James Wan, this breakthrough film. So,
of course.
And we all benefited from that in the long run. All right, up next is an interesting one. This is from Down Under, Aussie, Wolf Creek.
Oh yeah,
Mick Taylor. Now this was even had a TV show with the same actor.
I have not watched it yet. Is it based on the same thing?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I need to watch it then.
It even has the same actor playing the same character. This is a pretty brutal film.
Yeah, it's just I mean, it's, to me, this is more traditional slasher because he like hunts them, and it's Australian, so they have accents.
To us, they do, yes. All right. So, but I would imagine most people don't know that his name's Mick Taylor, but that.
I don't know that I knew that, but I don't know that I didn't either.
Well, there you go. Now, Hatchet came out in 2006, and the villain, of course, is Victor Crowley. And the fourth film was titled Victor Crowley, right? Or just Crowley?
Yeah.
One of the two. And these.
Look at that tagline. It's not a remake. It's not a sequel. And it's not based on a Japanese one.
Oh my goodness.
Old school American horror. Hatchet. I like it. Hatchet's classic, even though it's like it's not that old, but
Well,
old
I mean,
enough.
it's Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder playing,
Mm-hmm.
and Adam Green writing and directing. Need to see more from him. But yeah, I actually enjoy all those films, and the later ones they get even sillier and gorier. Love
I
it.
think a lot of people. I think Hatchet has a big following.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of genre fans really love Hatchet. I think it's because they love Kane. Because I mean, he's Kane.
Well, I think Adam Green has a little bit of following too, but yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
And they always have like really cool guest stars in it that serve up blood and guts their own. So. All right, up next. This was when Dave Dreyer said we must include one of his favorites.
So you know that I love Nathan. I'm sure you've seen my pictures with Nathan. Yes. I love him.
But it's Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and which is it's a different type of slasher, getting into the character more and craziness. What do you think of the film?
I love the film. Are you tired of like that's what I said. I said Nathan. Like I went to a party with him there, and like I love that dude. He's so cool. They need a second movie. Yep. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, okay, well, it's. I think it relates especially though because they talk a lot about what makes a horror movie. And in Scream, they kind of did that. They talk about the tropes and things. And then Robert Englund is in it for like a blip, but still he's in it. Mm-hmm. But he's still there. It's funny. It's clever. It's honestly, this movie is wonderful. Wonderful.
I think definitely one that I think deserves a revisit, a rewatch.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah. And I think I honestly think it needs a second. It needs a second.
The resurrection of Leslie Vernon. That's what it needs to be.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it needs to be called too. But Nathan, if you don't know, if anyone out there, Nathan Basil is the one that plays Leslie. So he's fabulous. He's actually a theater or an acting coach now. So it's kind of cool. He's very good at it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the blonde chick, I can't remember her name. Woof. We love her. Yeah, we love her. The blonde actress. Oh my gosh, what was her name? Doc, come on, Doc, you're good at that.
I'm looking it up. I don't remember the blonde actress.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You do. She was on Heroes. She was in Heroes.
Zelda Rubinstein was in it for a bit.
For a blip.
Scott Wilson from
Angela Goethals. She played Taylor. She was in. Yeah, like you've seen her. Yeah. Like she's been in a few things, I mean, like here and there, and right? 6 feet under.
Jerry Maguire and Home Alone, but that's not what you're talking about.
I don't know. Home Alone was kind of scary. Okay, come on.
All right, up next. We're 2 years, 2008. We're only in 2008, and we've got a lot to count. A lot to do, right? But this is probably, I don't know. This movie remains scary, and I think it gets even scarier as the years go by, and that's The Strangers. Liv Tyler being this is the Mask. We'll revisit just a group of people in Mask again in a few short years, but this itself is, I don't know, it's the whole idea.
What is this? This is the home invasion horror. Is that what that is part of? Okay, yeah. I mean, those are always scary, right? Like because you feel so out of control. But Liv Tyler is phenomenal.
Yep, Scott Speedman, her husband.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But the whole surprise at the end about the shot and everything. Oh god, it just it's scary. It's a scary movie. It's a good movie.
Did you know it was shot in South Carolina?
I did not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool.
It is cool. It is cool. It's very cool. I'm trying to get the movie that it was based on. And it's.
Oh, it was based on a movie?
I think
I didn't
so.
know that.
Or am I making that shit up?
Oh, I don't think you're making it up. I'm sure it was. Oh, wait, let's see. Hold on. Wait. Well, it says it was inspired by 2 real-life events, the multiple homicide Manson family tape murders, and a series of break-ins that occurred in Bertino's neighborhood as a child.
Yes. Okay, so it's not what I'm thinking.
But, I mean, that's scary.
All right, 2009 introduced us to The Orphan, who recently got a sequel, and the sequel was just as good. But Esther, I guess we should say Esther.
God, that's crazy.
There's something
she's spooky.
wrong with Esther.
You think?
Of course, that has the surprise ending. Which
I don't think is a surprise anymore.
Not anymore, but it was then when you first saw it. It's like, holy crap.
Oh, yeah, totally. But it's like, I think everyone knows that now. Yeah.
All right, 2011. We're jumping a couple years. We're bringing back the mask. This time we're bringing back the Lamb, the Wolf, and the Tiger. If you're wondering what that is, yes, you're right. It's Youre Next, which is such a great satiric look at slashers, which of course Scream is definitely that.
And then of course the killer is someone obviously.
Got a great Scream Queen in it, the final girl, and Sharni Vincent. Yep. And
it's got Barbara Crampton. How could you not like
yes
that?
Oh yeah, that's the kind of her comeback film, really, right?
Yeah. I love I love her. Like, so basically, I mean, I would have loved to have seen more of her, but I was happy that she wasn't just a blip. It was longer than that, at least.
Yep. And of course it was directed by Adam Wingard, who went on to direct The Guest, which is another potential slasher film. Blair Witch, that film came amazing. Out. I like Death Note, which I think he has a black eye about, but he did good.
I liked it. Yeah.
A lot of people, if you were familiar with the franchise, you might not have as much as you weren't, but yes, I enjoyed it too, but there's some hate. Of course, Godzilla vs. Kong was his big splash.
That was a great movie too.
And he is filming the sequel, which should be coming out next year, called Godzilla and Kong. Not to make it confusing at all.
I was about to say,
indeed.
I'm not going to get that right. I'm too dumb for that stuff.
Of course, it was written by Simon Barrett, who wrote, The Guest along with Blair Witch, and he did the story for Godzilla and Kong, and he's writing the I Saw the Devil remake. And I think he got into directing. He directed a couple of. He did the movie Seance, and then he's directed segments of VHS 2 and VHS 94. So,
that's wonderful.
Yes. Spoke more about that than I thought I was going to. All right, up next. I spoke earlier about a iconic slasher of the modern age that might eclipse Jigsaw and John Kramer, and that might Terrifier.
I bet it will at a point for sure.
Obviously, this is the Terrifier film. He was in a short in an anthology before this called All Hallows Eve, right? But I'm not counting that one.
That was not good. Just so you know. Sorry, Daniel.
But this is, and of course Terrifier 2 is even better if you ask me, and Art the Clown is now forever one of the iconic slashers of all time. And yeah, I think he's like he might be our only, I don't know, is he our only modern day equivalent to Freddy, Jason, and Michael and Leatherface? Or some of these others that we're mentioning, do they stand up that high? I mean, Victor Crowley, does he stand that high?
Ooh, because you talk to anyone that is not in the horror genre and they don't know who he is. Like I could talk to people and they'd be like, "Who's Victor Crowley?" But people have heard of the Terrifier because it's made so much news, so they know Art the Clown. So, as if we're talking, not that I don't think that Victor Crowley should be included there. As for genre fans, I think yes, but for just the lay person, as it were, I don't know how to describe that. Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this, Hatchet so many times, and people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they know who Saw is. They know who Saw is. They know.
Yes, and if I mention Terrifier, shockingly, more people know about that than because it made news. It made so much news. Like,
we need more films to really solidify it. But yes. All right, we're down to our final two, and we're in 2021. Of course, 2020 was a.
Oh yeah, that's
turd in a basket. But what we got now is the Black Phone, and of course, introduced the Grabber, Ethan Hawke's character, and what a terrific film! A little bit of supernatural thrown in with the actual Black Phone.
I was happy about.
But the Grabber itself, he was incredibly.
And as
imposing
Dave would point out,
and funny and.
Like as Dave would point out, Tom Savini.
Did the mask? Oh yeah.
Which is cool, and it is iconic. It is iconic, and it's cool, and it's spooky, and I mean, the Black Phone was a great movie. I don't really think that can be disputed. Like, I don't think that I've talked to a single person that didn't like it. Actually.
Yep. And Scott Derrickson, of course, directed it, and the young cast is fantastic, and our of course Ethan Hawke playing the villain. He's played the villain twice, but that was his first time playing the villain, and then he would follow up playing another villain in Moon Knight. But up until then, he'd always played the good guys.
I think he plays the bad guy very well.
He especially in these two, yeah. But the Grabber.
It was kind of interesting because in the Black Phone he played kind of a good. Because he's got multiple personalities or something, doesn't he? Because he was trying to. God, it's weird. Yeah, like when I think about it, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like he's got multiple personalities, so I think he did a good job as it. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it. It kind of messed me up a little bit. I don't. When children are involved, it always is a tough one for me.
But it resilient. But yes. Now we're on our last one, number 13. It's going to be from 2022, and I'll give you a hint that out of all our films, the previous 12, only one of them, Esther, was female. But last year in 2022, not only did we get one, but we got two films featuring the same killer.
You want to know the worst part about this?
You haven't seen
out of all these films. Out of all these films, I've seen them all, every single one, except for these two.
These two, and you need to. These need to be on your list.
They're on my list. I'm just waiting for them to come out on streaming. I don't like going to the theater because I don't like to be around people.
Oh, people suck. All right, so Pearl, it was in X and in Pearl. Now this is not Pearl. There, Mia Goth played Pearl. She played the older lady in X. Along with this other character that is Maxine, right? And she's going to be in, there's going to be a third one called Maxine. But we also got Pearl in the same year from Ty West featuring Mia Goth. And of course, Mia Goth helped write Pearl. And
that's awesome.
In both films, they're absolutely fantastic. And they're both different enough. It doesn't feel like a repeat or a sequel even or a prequel even. Because of the tone of them and the year that they represent. The first one feels like kind of like the Pearl, not the first one. The first one was X, but Pearl, the earlier chronological film in the story, feels like Wizard of Oz in a way of its the way it's presented. Right, it's a slasher film, but it feels like that tone of film. And then of course X was in the 70s, so it has that the grainy look to it and that feel to it. Even though it's not really grainy, it just has that feel to it. They did a real good job of capturing the 70s. So what a great addition. And Mia Goth, of course, has exploded on the scene since then. And she's even in talks to be in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein for Netflix.
That's yeah, okay,
I would imagine she's playing the bride. Kind of, right? Unless she's playing Frankenstein.
Yes.
The doctor.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Could be.
No,
No, you don't think
not.
no, she's going to be the bride. But yes. So there you go. That's our 13. Here, I'll just give you a couple of the ones that we considered, and this is only a partial list of it. But Chrome Skull from Laid to Rest, The Collector from The Collector, Kane from See No Evil, The Blind Man from Don't Breathe, Stuntman Mike from Death Proof. You know, putting a Quentin Tarantino character in here would have been fun, but not slasher enough. Not slasher enough, Quentin.
I agree.
Now, Chrome Skull, a lot of that Chrome Skull and Collector could easily have been in here. But there's just so many, and there's more than what I've listed. So,
yes.
So let us know what you think of us doing these lists, and what kind of lists would you like to see? What are some of the challenges?
And what did we miss? If you feel like something should have totally been on there that we didn't put on there.
Yeah, and there's definitely everybody's going to have their favorite that didn't make the cut, and we only could choose 13, so we apologize in advance. But we hope you enjoyed this. Next week, stick around because we're going to be doing what's coming out in April, so that'll be fun.
Ooh.
Yes. All right. But we hope you enjoyed our list and news. Crystal, thank you for joining me. This was, as always, a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me. It was a blast.
It was a blast, man.
That was awkward. Right? But I'm like,
and Dave, we miss you. Get your butt back here, bud.
Yep.
All right. And with that, let's say good night.
Good night.